just keep looking there. It's like your eyes for the whole thing, more or less.
Sure.
Yeah.
Justin Gibson, JUSTINGIBSON, owner and Von Voss and founder of Delectable.
Delectable's now 2 years old.
Yeah, actually we have our 3rd year anniversary coming up.
Fabulous, fabulous. So for the 3rd year, nobody could ever predict a pandemic, but why not open up a patio in a pandemic, I guess, right? Was that kind of the thought?
Yep, you got to focus on what you can do. See what possibilities open up, and in this case, the pandemic unfortunately caused the closure of the restaurant that was on the corner of the building, and which gave us the opportunity, though, to do a little pop-up patio here on this little corner location, increase our business, and do everything we can.
You got you had to get creative, right? I mean, it's tough. It's got to be tough times owning a restaurant right now, right?
It is. Things keep changing week to week. You just got to keep looking at what the trends are, what people are looking for, and make adjustments.
Sorry, everything's falling apart.
Yeah, this wind is kind of crazy today.
You were not kidding. Everything's going. Literally making adjustments, right?
I know, on the fly.
Holy God. Well, at least that stayed, so that's good. You get the gaffer tape out of this one. Look at that. Holy cow. At least that took it. All right.
Okay?
This is fine.
All right.
Surprisingly, that's fine. The comical thing is that the Lysol can got a little of it, but the plastic there doesn't seem to matter. I might grab my gaffer tape to hold it down a little better for us. That's what essentially you're doing with everything. Tell me a little bit about all that.
Sure. I mean, ever since the pandemic came about, I remember because it was the St. Patrick's Day, and we were getting ready for a very fun St. Patrick's Day dinner, and just ended up shutting everything down. And from there, it's just been a constant evolution of focusing on what we can do, how we can be innovative, how we can meet people where they're at and where they're comfortable. So we've switched to doing family meals and curbside pickup. And then when the opportunity came to do a little pop-up patio, we took advantage of that. We're nice enough to get help from our landlord to allow us to do it in the village, to extend our liquor license over to this extra space. And so it's just been, challenging, and in some ways, I wouldn't call it fun, but being innovative and creative is something I actually enjoy. So that part has been nice, but difficult to keep evolving to know what the next challenge is going to be the next day.
Well, that's part of the thing. The patio is almost for this pandemic proof, right? I mean, as long as people are outside, people feel relatively safe and comfortable. I mean, that's kind of what you're probably feeling right now too, a bit.
Absolutely. That's why we haven't been doing indoor dining, because really people are much more comfortable being outside. The studies and outbreaks and everything else have been a lot more mild in area when you're outdoors, when you have that breeze going, and just kind of protects everybody, and people still do open houses.
Oh, there it goes.
Wow.
Let's make some glamour shots of that. So it works pretty well unless you've got the wind.
Yeah, it's not been a problem heretofore, so this is easily the windiest day we've had yet. But
Hey, what fun would a news story be without all the fun little challenges along the way?
of course, it seems to have been that way.
Well, that was just kind of made for TV. Maybe we'll just throw that right in there just like that, yeah. So yeah, just like all the challenges, you never know what's next. But yeah, people for the most part, besides the wind, they don't feel threatened by eating outside. You guys have been creative in ways that you're keeping your staff safe and the people around you safe as well. Talk to us a little bit about that. It's not just eating outside that you're sharing and doing.
Absolutely. So, I've spent a lot of time thinking about how to keep people safe, how to keep our staff safe. As I expressed to my staff, if any one of us gets sick, gets COVID, then really we're all out of a job. So just us all keeping safe.
It's a comedy of errors. I think even if we were on the other side, I think it would
I checked over there. It was pretty bad there too. As I expressed to my staff, it's about keeping everybody safe. We all have to stay safe in addition to keeping the guests safe. So one of the big things I kept coming back to was once guests sit down at a table, they take off their masks. It's obviously necessary to eat and drink, and it's also a lot more comfortable. So then I had to contemplate on what exposure that has for our guests as well as for my staff. And so to address this, I came up with combining the mask, which everybody knows is the number one protection part. But then I also came up with adding the face shields, and I was able to find some that actually come up from the collarbone as opposed to coming down from the forehead. The benefit being that obviously when you're serving people, the people are below you. So I didn't really feel that forehead starting masks were protecting underneath you as well. So I wanted to get that additional protection, both for the guests, because they're no longer wearing a mask, so they're a little bit more exposed, and also for our servers, specifically their eyes and those pores that are also exposed when the guests don't have on their masks. So came up with the combination of wearing some of the best masks available, and also the face shield, which in combination then hoping to provide that extra level of safety to prevent anyone getting sick while they're here.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you've been doing that, and then you also have some interesting shields that you're putting up at some tables. Talk to me a little bit about that effort as well.
Absolutely. So one of the other things that I was noticing was that, one of the other things that I thought about was guests, in general, people are more often coming as couples, as opposed to a double date or meeting some folks out, because people are really conscious of not being exposed to others who are outside of their household. So what I came up with was putting table shields, kind of like the shields you see at the grocery store or something else, but on the middle, so to prevent any, when you take your mask off, you're no longer, and you're within 6 foot when you're sitting at a table. So we came up with the table shield, so you can still be within 6 foot, still be visiting with your friends, but also have that extra layer of protection when you take off your mask. And that way, hopefully you can feel more comfortable in dining out with your friends, because one of the things the pandemic has definitely done for a lot of us is not giving us enough time with the people we really enjoy and are missing. And so really trying to find a way to be able to give you that connection again in a safe way.
No doubt about it. And you are, my understanding, the only one in Dane County right now that's got these type of special Z shields and these shields for the tables?
Shields? To my knowledge, I mean, I obviously haven't been to every place around, but I have not seen or heard of anybody else who's doing these things.
From your understanding, I mean, one of the first in Wisconsin to really take these, these leaps and bounds in patio protection.
Patio protection, absolutely, yeah. It is, as far as I know, I am the first one to do it. I haven't heard of it anywhere else. I even heard people from San Diego saying they would eat out more if they had these sort of shields available to them out there as well. So I think it is something that people can look to adopt. And even, when we move inside, we can look to do some similar things. And, as we get into winter, we're going to keep the patio open as long as we can. We're getting some nice heaters to keep everybody warm through the fall season. And then we'll just keep trying to innovate in ways to keep people safe, but give them a chance to get out and enjoy dining out, which I've heard many people tell me it was their first time dining out, and expressed to me how much they didn't realize how much they missed it. It's enjoyable.
Cool. And yeah, I was just going to ask you, reaction-wise, it sounds like you mentioned the folks out west, on the coast. I mean, people everywhere kind of would like to have something like this to go out and enjoy a good meal and not have to be scared.
Absolutely.
So this removes that. Would you guys consider over the winter? I know that Cafe Benelux in Milwaukee was the first last year to do those domes. Is that something you might be experimenting with too this fall and winter?
Certainly going to look at it. I'd love to keep anything, any innovation possible that we can find to stay open, keep our staff employed, and keep serving people delicious food and giving them experiences they remember, and a time to be able to get out of the house and enjoy themselves safely.
Absolutely. The whole delectable experience prior to you guys having this patio, you guys did not have a patio. It was all the indoor fine dining experience.
Absolutely.
Is it different having fine dining outside now for you?
Absolutely. And it was actually even bigger change for us than that, because for us, we specialized in prefixed meals, 5 courses, 5 drink pairing. And so for us, it was a big change to turn it also into table service, where people would order off of a regular menu and things like that. That wasn't our specialty, so it's actually been a bigger change for us than that even.
Wow. So how does a five course menu restaurant cope with the challenge of the pandemic, opening up a patio and getting creative? It sounds like.
Absolutely. And I've been really proud of my chefs and my staff. They've really met the challenge. Really helped make my ideas a reality. From building a whole new patio menu that's truly amazing, beautiful, delicious, truly wonderful food. And then hiring more servers. They've really done a great job. We've added lots of family meals and different innovative. We do prime rib Saturdays and wine Wednesdays, destination Fridays, barbecue Thursdays, take and bake Tuesdays. So just keep doing lots of different things to, again, meet people where they're comfortable. Some people aren't comfortable going out at all. And, I want to be able to make sure that we're helping them out when they want a really nice meal or don't want to cook for the night, to be able to meet them there if they want to do curbside. And then also provide a place where they can get out of the house and dine safely as well.
You got it. I'm just thinking Mayor de Blasio mentioned, that in New York City, right? I mean, unless it's outside, they're not going to allow it. So
Right.
patio really is the pandemic future I always feel like whatever happens in New York City or New York State ends up happening like 2 months later for us. So,
Sure.
So you are definitely ahead of the curve here and planning to be here like this for the foreseeable future. It sounds like.
Absolutely. Whatever we can do.
Perfect. Anything you think I forgot to ask that you think would be important to share?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I'm just curious, what does your heart tell you about going the extra mile? I mean, a lot of places right now, as we know, are unfortunately having to shutter their doors. Really, like you mentioned, you're hiring more now, right? I mean, yeah, what does your heart tell you about being able to find a solution to move forward in all of this?
It's, I honestly took some time in the beginning to decide what I wanted to do. Did I want to just close up shop, cut all the employees and stay home and weather the storm? But instead, I decided that the better route was to innovate and figure out what we could do, bring the staff back, help them, give them jobs, and also keep providing for the wonderful, sincerely wonderful people who've supported us over the years. And I'm so glad I made that decision. It's definitely been the right way to go. And because we decided early on to do that, it's honestly made it easier to keep going, to keep doing new things, because we have people here. We've been building a new style of business, and the customers who follow us closely have expressed to me many times how impressed they are with the ingenuity, and they've really shown their appreciation for what we're doing, and it's been nice. I'm glad I didn't choose to sit this one out.
Instead, hopefully sit out on your patio if you have
much
time.
better. Enjoy a cocktail, some really terrific food. Much better way to go.
Perfect.